Good morning, student. This is second lecture of engineering mathematics exam decoder. Huh? This is series second lecture in series exam decoder. We will discuss in that lectures two or three questions, which is depend upon the module number one, and the topic is logic. And the question number third is that construct the truth table to check the whether the statement is tautology, contradictory, or contingent. Contingent. In last lectures, we had discussed the two questions. One questions uh, on tautology and one questions on the contradictions. Now, these questions, third questions, we are discussing the particularly that is in category of the contingent. The statement are given, and he is asking the check the nature of given statement or whether of given statement. Solution for that, the write down the truth table in the P and Q, where P value for P is true true and false false, and the value of Q means true false true false. We are putting the value for P and Q. So now the what things we require to solve this value for statement. So now find the negation of Q. This is terms we require. Therefore, negation of Q are available in this statement. That's why we are finding the value of negation Q. The negation Q means here is a value for Q is true and negation for Q is become false. Means value negation for true is false. Negation for false, second term is value of Q in second line is false. Negation is true. True negation for true is false, therefore this value is false, and negation for false is true, therefore this value is true. Now, what is the value for negation of Q? Is false, true, false, true. And now, in the next column, we want to find the value of P implies Q. Value of P implies Q. The what is value in P implies Q? This implication statement is in implication statement. If the result is wrong, means the result is false. When the false value is coming, the only one conditions in which the false value are coming, in which the first value means first truth value is true and second is false. Means where we, if you observe, the first value is true and second value is false. That is only condition in which the result is become false. Otherwise, all the statement result is true. Otherwise, result is true. Here we see the P implies Q. Here first value is true and second value is false. Means in second condition means first is true, second is false, means true implies false, which gives the value is false in implications or conditional statement. This is implications which will gives the value is false, otherwise all conditions which will gives the value is true. Huh? Means true implies true is true, true implies false is false, false implies true is true, and false implies false is true. Okay. Now we want to find the value of now P implies Q in first bracket and negation Q. And what is meant by and? In logical connectors, in and both the values are true, that times his result is true, otherwise your result is false. Means in P implies Q and negation Q, means first P implies Q is true and false, which is gives the result is false. False and true, which gives the result is false. True and false, which gives the result is false. True and true, it is only condition. If both are true, then result are true. Therefore, this true value are coming here. Now we want to find the P, if in first bracket P implies Q bracket close and negation Q bracket close implies P. We want to find the value for this. Okay, implication statement. In what is in implication statement? In implication statement, first statement is first value is true and second value is false. Then only conditions in implications which will give the result is false. Otherwise, that result are true. Otherwise, all conditions that result are true. Means what is the first? First are true. First are VR value first is false implies P, means false implies this is false implies value P value is true, false implies 2 is true. Okay, this is false in second row, this is false value implies true value is true, value is true. This is false third in third row, false implies false, this is true value, and true implies false, means first value is true and second value is false, and in between that implications symbols are coming, means P implies Q, means whatever may be that true implies false, which will gives the value is false. Yeah. Now we want to check the whether of given statement is contingent, tautology or contradiction. If you observe this last column, if you observe this last column, the values are coming in the last columns are the mix value. That means the some value are true and some value are false. From the last column, true and false both values are exist. From the if you observe the last column, in that last column both values are exist, and therefore the given statement, whatever maybe this statement are given for you in the questions that I am written here, that statement is contingent. That statement is contingent statement. Okay, this is statement is contingent. Now this is third questions we will discuss. Huh? This fourth question, you will try to solve for four questions. These four questions are easy. If you try these four questions, we will discuss the question number 5. We will discuss now the question number 5. So for the 5 marks, prove the equivalence of this statement. In first bracket, P implies Q is logically equivalence, negation P or Q, negation P or Q. Using the truth table, prove that that equivalence is true. We want to prove the given equivalence are true. Okay, let us start to solve this equivalence by using the truth table. Let's write to P and Q. The value for P is true, true, false, false, and value of Q is true, false, true, false. So now find the negation of P. What things we require? We are requiring the two negation P. For the proving this statement is logically, this given logical equivalence is true. If you want to prove that, what things require? Negation P we require for here. Okay. That will find the value for negation P. Their value is true. The negation for P true is false. Here in second row, the value is P value is true, negation is false. Third row, the value for P is false, negation is true, and the value is fourth row value of P is false, their negation is true. Okay. Now find the value for P implies Q. Finding the value for P implies Q means P implies Q. What is the in condition in implication? If first value is true and second value is false, is only one conditions in which the result is false. Otherwise, the result are true. Otherwise, the result are true. First statement, first value is true, and second value is true. True implies true is value is true. First value is true and second value is false. True implies false, which is giving the result is false. False implies true, which gives the result is true. And false implies false, which gives the result is false. Now we want to find the negation P or Q. What is means or? This is a means we like symbol. That symbol in this is logical connectors, and this is logical connector meanings for that logical connectors is or means both value means both value are true then true at least one value are true, that times it is also true. Huh? Means in what is our statement is talking about, or means at least one value is true. At least one value is true, then result are true. Means both are false. It is that result is false. Only one condition is that both value is false. That times which gives the result is false. Means or means at least one is true, then result is true. Means at least one true होना चाहिए. That times means in or condition at least one true होना चाहिए. That's why your result are giving the true. Okay, negation P or Q. Negation P or Q means false or true, which gives the value is true. False or false, which gives the value is false. And true or true, which gives the value is true. And true and false, which also gives the value is true. In or, with or connectors, logical connectors, or is at least one true, that times which is result is true. What we are observing, what we are observing here, here we are observing for that the last two columns. If you are observe the last two columns, from last two columns which gives the same value. If you observe the last two columns here in truth table, the value are same. Values are same. Therefore, the P implies Q is logically equivalent to negation P or Q. It is true. Hence, logical equivalence is true. Hence, logical equivalence is true. Here is a statement. Now, in today's lectures, we will completed the discussions for the two questions. And now we are stopping here. And next lectures in series, we will discuss the further questions on based on logic. Uh, okay, now stopping here.